Did you know that Roger Moore's first outing as James Bond almost ended in disaster? From crocodile stunts gone wrong to real voodoo rituals on set, this movie hides secrets even 007 couldn't uncover. Stay tuned till the end because the last fact will blow your mind. And hey, if you love discovering the wildest behind-the-scenes secrets of legendary films, make sure to subscribe right now and comment which Bond movie you think had the craziest shoot. All right, agents, let's dive into 20 weird facts about Live and Let Die. Thing number 1. The crocodile stunt was 100% real. The legendary crocodile scene in Live and Let Die wasn't a camera trick, it was pure madness. The stuntman Ross Kananga, whose father owned a crocodile farm in Jamaica, literally ran across live crocodiles for the scene. He wore thick protective shoes, but that didn't help much. One croc snapped his foot clean off his shoe during an early take. It took 5 dangerous attempts to get the perfect shot, and Kananga was almost bitten each time. Even Roger Moore later said watching it made him sweat bullets. This insane stunt wasn't CGI or editing. It was raw, terrifying bravery that made Bond history. Kananga's daring leap is still remembered as one of the boldest stunts ever filmed. Crocodile emoji. Thing number 2. Roger Moore's Bond was softer, on purpose. When Roger Moore took over as James Bond after Sean Connery, the producers didn't want a copycat. They intentionally made Moore's Bond more charming, witty, and stylish, removing the cold edge Sean Connery's version had. Moore refused to play Bond as a rough killer. Instead, he became the suave gentleman spy. His humor, calm presence, and smooth talking completely redefined the character. The wardrobe department also shifted his style. Lighter suits, designer watches, and elegant gestures. This creative risk worked. Fans loved his modern, playful Bond. Critics praised the new flavor he brought to the role, showing that 007 didn't need to rely on violence to win hearts. Moore's debut proved that style could be as deadly as a bullet. Hat emoji. Thing number 3. The voodoo rituals were based on real beliefs. The eerie voodoo scenes in Live and Let Die weren't just fiction. The filmmakers actually consulted real voodoo experts in Jamaica to make every ritual look authentic. The mysterious Baron Samedi, played by Geoffrey, was inspired by the real spirit of death from Haitian folklore. Holder's booming laugh and haunting dance moves weren't scripted. They were improvised to give the character a supernatural feel. Crew members later claimed strange things happened on set, like equipment malfunctioning during ritual scenes. Whether it was coincidence or something darker, no one knows. Even Roger Moore admitted the voodoo atmosphere felt too real. The chilling authenticity made this Bond film stand out as one of the most spiritually charged and unnerving entries in the series. Car chase number 4. The boat chase broke a world record. That jaw-dropping speedboat chase wasn't just thrilling, it made history. The sequence, filmed in Louisiana, featured 17 boats racing through swamps, exploding docks, and leaping over police cars. One stunt set a Guinness World Record for the longest speedboat jump ever, an incredible 120 feet. The crew rehearsed the scene for weeks, and several boats were completely destroyed during filming. Even Roger Moore drove one of the boats himself in a few shots, shocking the stunt team. The chase required perfect timing. One wrong move could have meant serious injury or death. The result? One of the most iconic, high-octane chases in Bond history. Even decades later, this daring scene remains an unbeatable example of practical movie magic. Boat emoji. Thing number 5. Roger Moore hated using guns. You might think every Bond loves his weapon, but Roger Moore secretly hated guns. In interviews, he confessed that he detested firearms and found it uncomfortable to handle them on set. During Live and Let Die, Moore would often flinch slightly when firing blanks, forcing the editors to cut around his reactions. The director even reduced the number of close-up gun scenes for him. Instead, Moore relied on charm, gadgets, and intelligence, creating a softer, more human Bond. Fans didn't notice the difference, but insiders knew the truth. Ironically, this gun-shy actor became one of the most beloved Bonds ever, proving that confidence and charisma can be deadlier than a bullet. Roger Moore's aversion helped redefine what it meant to be 007. Fire emoji. Number 6. The exploding shark scene was a nightmare to film. The Shark Tank explosion scene looks thrilling on screen, but behind the camera it was a logistical nightmare. The crew filmed it using real sharks inside a massive water tank in Jamaica. When the explosives went off, one shark was accidentally injured, causing chaos in the tank. Several crew members panicked and dove for cover, thinking the glass might shatter. Moore wasn't even in the same room during the explosion. His shots were filmed later and edited together. The filmmakers later admitted it was one of the most dangerous setups in the entire Bond series. Today, that scene stands as a reminder of how wild practical effects used to be before CGI existed. It's cinematic chaos, Bond style.
Thing number 7. Geoffrey Holder designed his own costume. The unforgettable Baron Samedi had one of the most striking looks in any Bond movie, and it was designed by the actor himself, Geoffrey Holder. A professional dancer, painter, and costume designer, Holder insisted on creating his own wardrobe. He combined Haitian voodoo inspiration with Broadway theatricality, giving Samedi his tall hat, skeletal makeup, and haunting grin. His movements were choreographed like a dance, turning death itself into performance art. During filming, Holder's deep laugh became so iconic that producers reused it for extra sound effects in post-production. The result? A villain who was both terrifying and magnetic. Holder's creativity didn't just bring Samedi to life, it made him one of the most stylishly sinister villains in Bond history. Thing number 8. Jane Seymour was only 22 years old and was terrified. Jane Seymour, who played the beautiful fortune teller Solitaire, was just 22 years old during filming, and she was terrified. It was her first major film role, and she was acting opposite the legendary Roger Moore. Seymour later revealed she was so nervous during her love scenes that Moore had to comfort her between takes. The producers also kept her isolated before shooting to make her appear more mystical and distant on screen. Her real-life innocence perfectly matched her character's mysterious aura. Seymour's stunning performance not only launched her Hollywood career, but also turned Solitaire into one of the most memorable Bond girls ever. Her wide-eyed fear wasn't acting, it was genuine emotion, captured forever on film. Thing number 9. The snake scene was horrifyingly real. The terrifying snake ritual scene wasn't a Hollywood illusion. Those were real snakes slithering on set. The actress playing the sacrificial victim was so scared that she burst into tears before shooting began. Roger Moore, who had a lifelong fear of reptiles, admitted his skin crawled every time he stepped near the pit. The handlers brought dozens of non-venomous snakes, but a few escaped during filming, causing panic among the crew. Director Guy Hamilton refused to use fake ones because he wanted genuine tension from the actors. The result? A scene that feels disturbingly authentic. Moore later joked that he'd rather face Blofeld again than another snake. Those moments of pure fear gave Bond fans one of the most chilling experiences in the entire film. Thing number 10. A real explosion nearly injured the crew. During a massive boat explosion scene, timing went horribly wrong. The explosives detonated seconds earlier than expected, sending debris flying toward the camera crew. One operator was knocked backward by the blast wave, and a lens was shattered mid-shot. Luckily, no one was seriously hurt, but the director called it his closest call of his career. Moore wasn't present during the blast, but heard it from miles away and thought something had gone wrong. The shot that almost turned tragic ended up being used in the final film because it looked too perfect to waste. What audiences saw as another Bond explosion was actually a real, near disaster caught on film, proving that danger on a Bond set wasn't always part of the script. Thing